Next, we're going to go ahead and fill in our eyelid and eyeball. So we're gonna go fill in our pupil with teal first. So just pure teal, all you need, and just fill in our little eye, just like that. And then we're gonna do some other details while that dries. When we come back at the very end, we'll finish off with our eyelid. Now we're gonna go ahead and mix up again some of that light teal color. So we're just the white and the teal mixed together. And we're gonna come back here to the tail now. And so the tail is actually going to have a nice highlight down the entire back of it. And you can leave a little bit of this dark shading right there on the outside. That actually helps give a little bit more emphasis to your humpback whale. And as you see here, we're actually going to be adding in some more highlights on the back. And I'd even add one right here, feather it in, and then just grab teal and grab that dark mix, that green and blue mixture with a little bit of teal, and start feathering into those areas. And you don't want too much pigment, just kind of on the verge of a dry brush, but not quite dry yet. Fantastic, guys. And I think even a little bit right here over the shoulder, that'll give a nice highlight, just like that. And again, grab some more of that teal white, and we're going to outline the upper portion of our fluke, which is what the back of the tail of a humpback whale's tail is called, is a fluke. And then mix up some more of your green and blue. And now we're going to give it a nice bit of contrast on the lower portion. Just like so. And of course, as we've been doing, you can feather this. Just switch over to using a little bit of teal while it's still wet, and feather that color over to your lighter color. And if your lighter color is already dried up, no worries, we know how to make more. It's just teal and white once again. Mix it all up and put it on there. And then blend downwards. So this method of pushing and pulling your darks to your lights is what I use for all of my paintings. And I really recommend playing with this some more if you have some time. You'll learn a lot, and you'll find that it's very applicable to many different kinds of paintings. I'm adding just again a little bit more of a highlight over the eye right here, and then again right here where the arm meets the body. And I'm going to actually go ahead and feather a little bit of this teal white color all the way down. And this is going to be like a highlight. Excellent, guys. Now we're going to go ahead and put in the pupil of our eye and add in a little bit of light in the corner for some life. And we're just going to be using pure blue and green, mixing them together, keeping it really rich and dark. And then adding a nice little pupil. And if you would like, you can re-outline the eye and the eyebrow if you would like. And then as soon as you're done putting in the pupil, you just grab a nice, wash off that little round brush really well, and then grab a nice little bloop, a little dab of white, and then just place it right in the corner. And just like that, you get all that life and that attention in the eye. Now there's a few more things we're gonna do to really refine this humpback whale painting, but we're pretty much done. So the only things that we're gonna do are some final highlights and lowlights. So we're going to define this flipper away from the body a bit more with a white highlight, just like so. And you are more than welcome to go ahead and continue that highlight all the way down the flipper if you would like. And you can even take it on the outside and kind of outline the flipper to make it a little bit more defined from the background. But no worries, you don't have to. It's only if you would like. I'll put a little bit of a highlight at the very top of the base of the tail and the very tippy top of these little hills right there. We're going to put a little bit of white just on top of the eyebrow. Just like so. A little bit more right there. And again, we're using pure white. Going to do a little bit of a highlight on the very tippy top of the mouth. And of course, we're going to add just a tad bit of white to the tops of those little textured nodes on the top of the mouth. Just like that. And now for the very, very back of our humpback whale, I would go ahead and add pure white going down the back. And now this is more of like an outline for our humpback whale than inside him. So just take your time layering in little striations of white. And if you have a really thick white line, no worries, just feather it softly with a dry brush out into the body. And then I would even come back in with maybe a little bit more color into that area, just to pull back a little bit more color. So it's not so bright white right there. And then of course, wherever you do it one place, you must do it in the other places. So just relaxedly and calmly feather down some white from your line. And this is really going to add a lot of form and make him look very realistic. And then the last area that we're going to highlight is just along the belly, and it's going to be with a white teal mix. And we're just going to define our belly away from our back flipper. I'm going to need a little bit more water on my brush. Just like that. Oop. So I'm going to go back in and actually kind of shift that around just a little bit. So this is what's awesome about acrylic, is that it's very forgiving. You can do a lot of playing before finalizing what you want. I'm going to do one more low light. This is going to be, again, our blue-green mixture. And we're just going to add some contrast in between all those barnacles up top. And so we don't need to fill it in completely. It's just giving the impression of it like that. Really gives it an extra little bit of oomph and definition. I'd also go ahead and use that dark color to define a little bit of the ribbing on the belly right there, since it's in shadow. And we're going to actually lighten up that belly area right there. That shadow is just a little off. and just very calmly feather that in. Fantastic, guys. If you want to add maybe one more highlight, I would say just add a little bit of a little swoop on the fluke back here, just to give it a little bit more definition. And then a very slight dry brushed highlight along the mid body. And now just like that, you have finished your humpback whale, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed learning how to paint this lovely little humpback whale. And if you have any questions about the techniques or the process, please comment below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. If you enjoyed this lesson, please hit that subscribe button and join us next week for brand new lessons. And in the meantime, please share your artwork with us using the @CanvasOfTheWild with the hashtag #OfTheWild for a chance to be featured on our stories on social media. Until I get to paint with you again soon, stay safe, stay positive, and keep creating, guys. See you later.